So the free lunch has been spoiled. The rollout has curled up and died. Yeah, right before July 4th, so you didn't notice, the Obama administration admits that Obamacare is just too big a burden on America's businesses and moved the mandate on employers to 2015 after the midterm elections, so the Dems don't get tarnished by this turd. But that's just a coincidence, people. And here we have another example of Valerie Jarrett's genius at hiding the horrible until the ballots are cast. Benghazi, the IRS, Keystone, Obamacare, all huge blunders buried in the backyard like a kid's dead goldfish. So I guess Obamacare is just too complicated for businesses, but not for you and me. As the nation's largest insurer, United Health, along with Aetna, pulls out of the California insurance market, you get the sense that everyone but the last rat is leaving the ship. And that rat is Obamacare, a big, ugly rodent hiding in a 2,400-page bill that functions as its Trojan horse. As teenagers, we hate our parents, but sooner or later we realize we were right. They were right about everything. It's the same with the Tea Party. Mocked for its goofy, uncool manner in which it confronted this generation's Fonzie, President Obama. Turns out they were right again. They have every right to say, "I told you so," but they probably won't. There's no joy in being right when, for the sake of the country, you sometimes wish you were wrong. Thoughtful, don't you think?
Before you go, can I just ask you?
Yes.
You buried your goldfish?
Didn't you?
You flushed them down the toilet.
You had to do some kind of ritual, put a little cross on top and stuff like that. Yeah, you're a terrible father. You make me sick. Flushing the goldfish down the toilet? You are worse than President Obama.
You should flush it down with the turd you just talked about.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob. Not very
Can I make a
charming.
point?
I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
Very
go ahead.
important question.
Yes, sir.
This was
So gross.
July 3rd announcement before the. This is all about timing. July 3rd because nobody's paying attention, and it's going to be then come back after the election, so it's too late. This is all politically manufactured and engineered.
Absolutely. I want to give Andrew some credit on this. She pointed out this was the most politically sensitive part of this bill. And I think they got together, and it was not just them, it was the Democrats coming down saying, we don't want to have to go out and campaign on this thing. So they moved it back a year, and I think that probably makes political sense. You would make a political call. I would have made it.
What do you think, Andrea?
I think it's
She thinks
clear
she's right.
Yeah.
And I think.
How do you feel about being right?
I just want to make sure we clip that footage of Bob saying I was right, so we can
Amazing.
replay it back at a later date.
But no, Greg,
You won't remember it.
that's true. I think this is the administration saying this thing stinks. It is a giant turd. But they have to deal with it at some point. I mean, they were reading the headlines. Lunch ladies, teachers, minimum wage, fast food employees were getting laid off by this, and they couldn't deal with all these negative job headlines. But really, it's like the country is being hijacked by like the 6th grade student council. Like, let's just move it back a year to delay it for our own personal gain.
Eric, isn't it kind of insulting that they did it today? Like they're saying Americans are too dumb to see it happen.
They just don't care. They keep doing it. These Friday night document dumps, pre-holiday document dumps. Can I just point something out? I don't know if you realize this, though. Rush Limbaugh yesterday morning said, I asked him a question about Obamacare, and he immediately went, hey, this is all about 2014 elections. The Democrats are going to get their clocks cleaned. We talked about it last night here. And what happens 4 or 5 hours after that? They come out and say, you know what? We're going to wait a year until after the 2014 elections. They're listening to Fox and Rush.
You and Rush did it all by yourself.
I didn't take any credit for it.
Hey, can I say one thing? What does survive, though, is the kids who are taking their insurance till they're 26 for the family. That's good.
Yeah, it's good for
also
their children,
the
right?
pre-existing condition.
Well, they're adults. They're adults.
The good side of the bill are staying alive. So that's
and unfortunately, there are people whose premiums are going to go up 2 to 3 times to pay for people who are actually healthy. A lot of kids in their 20s are healthy and are not often thinking about health insurance until later, and they're getting it for free. But
you
they're
ever
going to end up
blame
paying.
the health insurance companies for these increases?
No, I'm not
This
actually.
is all
I want
right.
to get the KG.
Please.
Do you remember 2 weeks ago, Democratic strategists said they should embrace the law to help win elections? Now they're running scared like it's Godzilla.
It's just another bad episode of bend and snap by the administration. I mean, they just don't want to lose seats again and have a bloody massacre like they did in 2010. This is totally politically motivated, but if they have the best interest of the country, of what actually would work and not stifle job growth in the economy. They don't want to see all these people laid off, thousands of people laid off, hours reduced going into 2014. That's going to stigmatize them further. So now they're just going to, we'll put it off for a year.
I thought the bend and snap was a good thing.
You know what we used to call this in politics?
Only illegally
It hurts.
Greg, what we used to call this in politics is they were running like scalded dogs.
Nicely done. All right, coming up.